Thank you very much. So first of all, I just give the thanks and congratulate to the World Business Angel Investors Week organizer, Bangladesh, and of course the Vaibhav Altuntas and all of his wonderful team. As he already mentioned in his speech, that it is organized almost more than 70 countries. And this is a very amazing contribution by WBF. So I like to share my screen with my presentation. Okay, so is it visible, my screen? Okay, so
yes, sir,
first of all,
it's
again,
visible.
thank you very much. I'm just going to start my screen. Sorry, I just going to the first page. So first of all, the connecting startup and scale-ups with investors, as Vaibhav is already mentioned, because in considerable the situation of the COVID-19, I think it is true that this is the right time to make the bridging with the world various stakeholder, because the global partnership should be the one of the key component now, and see the all of the best practices, because we already experienced that due to cause of COVID-19, the almost 50% business is going to be directly hampered, and at the same time, the sales decrease. But again, at the same time, there is a lot of businessmen or business houses, their sales increase, and the revenue is also going to be high considering the previous scenario. So why is going on, and what is the scenario, and why this disruptive effects is going to be as normal, that we need to consider, because nowadays wherever or whenever we are moving, we must have need to consider this scenario, because COVID-19 has make us rethink about our sustainability. Because without a common or sustainable system, I'm sure that challenges and opportunities for the new entrepreneurs will be also a big factor. So that is why I should say we need to prepare ourselves. We need to take our proper precaution and try to bring all of the networking partner and making them confident, so that we can move to the next level. And we are really thanks to the government. Bangladesh government in the day one, before coming to the power, government committed to make a digital Bangladesh. At the same time, after this power, I think this government is also focusing more to develop the young startup, to develop lot of entrepreneur, because it is obviously true that without entrepreneur, we cannot provide much job to our huge pool of manpower, especially the young people. So government is also initiated a lot of activities like Startup Bangladesh, and Tina Javin is here. I hope that she will tell more. So I don't like to going through the more about this point as she's here. So Bangladesh Bank is also formed 500 crore startup fund, and of course there is a good opportunity that these sorts of fund will be more higher, because as government is more focused on this area. So now I'm just going to the direct our just point that what exactly the process, because a lot of startup, lot of entrepreneur, young entrepreneur, they always curious to know about the procedure of raising the fund. So there is a lot of process like screening, pitching, due diligence, and structuring. But how? What is this screening? And you know that there is a lot of opportunity to grow up the startup due to cause of this disruption. Technology is going to involve in our day-to-day life, and the business is very fast. So this is the opportunity for the young startup, because the previous business houses, they were very reluctant to use the technology, and this is the one of the reason that old and prominent business houses are not able to do better. Rather, the young people are getting the most facility due to cause of their innovation, creativity, challenging mind, and again the technology. So, what the startup idea? The startup idea, always we know the plan, action. So, what is the problem? What is the solution, and how we should go to the inside? So that is why I should say that what really matters to the investor is always look after that popular, growing, urgent, expensive, mandatory, and frequent. So this slide is, you see that what is the popular? So popular means you see the whatever business idea or whatever solution we will bring to the people, that's it must need to reach to the millions of people. And there should be a lot of technology, as we know that due to cause of the social networking, due to cause of the technological development, it is very easy now to reach to the any people. The lot of things is going to be viral in within few hours. So that needs to be that scalability or opportunity we need to identify. We need to identify what exactly the problem you need to overcome. And at the same time, growing aspect, you see the everyone expect that how much the growth, because everyone expect that the startup growth will be double digit, not the 5%, 2% or 1%. So this growing tendency also need to be ensured. And at the same time, the urgent, what is the mentality of the startup? They have to solve as soon as possible, rather waiting to the long time to bringing the expert from the outside or the bringing the component from the outside. You must have to the startup need to have the all sorts of facility to solve any sorts of problem with more urgency. And again, the expensive. So expensive, that's a why Uber. If we just give the example of the Uber, why Uber is become popular. But Uber is become popular because that's very popular, very growing, and very urgent. And this, you see, the in respect of expenses, we must see the how it is going to be the effective in our day-to-day life. That is the one of the reason Uber or Airbnb or these sorts of solution is going to be popular is overnight. So these also need to be considered by the any new startup. And of course, the lot of cases startup need to know about the law. The prevailing law is going on in which country. In Bangladesh aspect, there should be another law. In USA respect, there should be another law. So this is the mandatory factor. They must need to know the law of this country about their startup or about their venture. And of course, the frequent development or the frequent solution, like every time, there's a 24 hours, 7, and instantly, the peoples are waiting to get the solution after their push button. So because the sensitivity and responsibility is one of the key important factor. That whenever we are just ordering any food to the Food Panda or Uber, what do you expect? We will expect the instant response, that when it will be delivered. What is the time frame? How much time, how long this producer or the delivery man is now. These sorts of information which need to be ensured frequently, but with proper timing. A lot of cases, as I already mentioned the earlier slide, the pitching. The startup need to, whenever they will ask for the fund, I'm sure that they have to put some of their time to prepare their pitching. It is a very common problem, the elevator speech, because pitching time is very, very minimum. So always they need to get the key point to get the attention of the investor. So that within very short span of time, they should get the confidence of the investor or the jury board. So they must have to prepare their cover letter or what the key point. They must need to know the problem of their startup. They need to know the solution. Their vision should need to be very clear. Why they will start it now? What is the demand? As we mentioned that due to COVID-19, there is a lot of good new opportunities coming. So that is why it's need to prove that why they are going to promote their business right now. They must have to prove their market position, competitive analysis. Their business model also need to be unique. And the team identification also one of the key factor, because sometimes they are not getting the right team. I think it will be tough to sustain in the present scenario. And definitely the financial matter, the return of investment, other matters also, they need to be very clear in front of the pitching or in front of the jury board. And definitely they must have the traction or attraction to the jury board, and these sorts of key points they need to focus properly. And of course, FAQ or the query, they need to prepare themselves, and back cover means that is summarized point, so that everybody need to realize there about their pitching point or about the intention. And definitely the due diligence also, they need to have the proper data, their financial data and the legal information, which I already mentioned earlier. So these sorts of proper information, they need to be carry whenever they will move to the pitching or asking the funding from any investor. And structuring the price versus non-price. A lot of cases, the people or the startup need to know that where they should set the price, valuation matter. and something do not need to be determined by the future pricing, because the future investor will identify this pricing. So these factor also they should differentiate, like common equity, convertible preference share, a redeemable preference share, and which future investor will identify. That sorts of matter also they should know from the various pitching, various example available in the internet. And structuring the key document. And of course, not only the pitching, I think to going to any financial institute, then if they need any funding, they should focus their term sheet, their share advance agreement, share subscription agreement, and no objection letter to the relevant authority, and shareholding agreement. These sorts of matter, majority cases we are seeing that startup company, they are not focusing. They are just focusing only their business idea or concept. And that is why sometimes the investor are not able to get the proper direction from their presentation. So for many, the toughest leadership test is now looming, how to bring a business back in an environment after this COVID-19, after this competition, technological development, and mentality change, as I mentioned, because the mentality of the buyer's mentality is going to change also rapidly. Earlier, people were very habituated to go to the showroom to see the physically, but now the mindset is changing. They are trying to see the review, they are trying to see the ranking of the company, confidence of the company, and after seeing the confidence of the company, they try to buy. So this changing mentality, that's we need to consider this few example. You see the Facebook, Microsoft, Google, Twitter, everyone is decided their staff can work for the home. After this pandemic, and due to their system also, they change for the permanently, like Microsoft permanently, and also the Twitter is also permanently, they settle up, their staff can work from home, from wherever it does not matter. As one of the theme is going on, this women entrepreneurship. I think this WBF, this Angel Investor Week, is one of the key component. We must need to think about the women entrepreneurship, women leadership. Because earlier, I think everybody is considered that women has some responsibility to look after about their home, various sorts of service which already we are aware. I think these sorts of matter also now need to be considered, because as a home office or virtual office or technological advancement, it does not matter. So the women can contribute with their creativity and innovation, considering the present scenario. So these sorts of our young startup, and of course our movement need to be considered about this new opportunity. Creating digitally enabled ecosystem within our organization. As I mentioned, the day by day, the whatever business, it doesn't matter. I think this all of the education system is now also enacted or enabled the digital system. COVID-19, we are already experienced that no education system can be also sustained if they are not enabling the technology or digital ecosystem. So same thing, business houses also need to ensure before entering to their business, all of the activities like customer relationship management, automation, accounting, inventory, everything need to be HR solution, everything need to be formed through the technology. So what happened? We need to have a very clear goal. What is our goal? What is your team's focus? What is the rapid decision for long-term competitive advantage? I think this should be, sometimes we are saying that the new startup, they have the idea, but some of the component, as I already mentioned, they are not creating or taking the proper precaution or preparation. That's why their goal and focus are not very clear to the investor or the judge. So of course, as also we understood, the startup, whenever they started their business, they may be falling down, they may be loose, they may be not able to get the confidence of the investor in their first pitching, second pitching, third pitching. So please consider it positively, because you see that your failure, your rejection, your fear, your doubt, everything, forget it. Rather, you must look after about your dream. That's why if your dream is big, of course, you know that in Jack Ma, in Alibaba Jack Ma, he already mentioned that how many times, few hundred times he failed in his journey, but lastly he already able to reach his goal. So why he are able to reach his goal? Definitely his dreams was very big. So this is the time we need to be the doer. We should not be working as a thinker, because if we think, if we have a plan, if we have a lot of idea in our mind, but we are thinking, we are not moved as a doer, I think we can sitting in the long time and no result will be coming. So must need to think young entrepreneur or startup as a doer. And main friendship, as I repeatedly mentioned, that our make friendship with the technology and work very smartly. Because without technology, without smartness, the smartness means again digital technology, digital device, technological development, creativity, innovation, team, all of the component need to utilize proper smartly. And of course, data, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and these sorts of better technology we need to manage very professionally. Otherwise, operational movement, it will not getting the proper benefit. Because we know if you go to the Google, if you go to the any search engine, we'll see the how professionally every day they are analyzing their data and they are using the artificial intelligence. So as a new entrepreneur, I think if whatever business is going on, that's not the matter. The matter is they must have put the proper data, proper information. So again, be doers. If you want to create impact in your organization, society, country, and the world as a startup, of course, please be a doers and move with keeping the all key component as I mentioned few of here. So Daffodil, we have the lot of educational venture, we have the lot of entrepreneurial activities. So few of our initiative we are just showing. We have the first Department of Innovation and Entrepreneurship department in our university. We have our business incubator. We have this startup idea for fund. We also initiated the Daffodil Business Incubator. We are going to in the large and individual identity, because earlier it was only inside the university. Now we are moving for the much people. I hope that within November we'll launch our new venture. It will name in the Knowledge Valley. So Bangladesh Venture Capital Company is also one of our venture capital company. Those who are really serious and able to prove your all component, I think venture capital company are ready to invest you. We also develop a entrepreneurship development fund, which we call EDF fund, inside our student without interest, no service charge. I think we're giving the business support and services for our student, and so they can just preliminary stage, they can get this fund for their R&D and also to implement their project. And one card solution we also implemented in our university and all of our educational networking. I hope that it is one of the very strong component, because entrepreneur, whenever they move with their any project, they always like to support from the payment gateway or payment support. So with the payment gateway provider, we already initiated this one card. And at the same time, in our university, we also developed one innovation lab. This is the picture of our innovation lab. We are keeping the commercial 3D printers, CNC cutting, all of this high demandable machine and VR machine, everything we are keeping in our innovation lab. So we are hopeful that young entrepreneurs, especially from our university and in any other partnering organization, if they're interested to use our innovation lab, we are ready to help them. We organize this startup market. So we are always very focused about to helping our student. I think I'm seeing the few of the startup, though it is 2017 picture. See this 2017, those who are the startup, I think all of them are now very good businessmen. Some of them, I think, few of them are they have the more than 100 plus staff. So only 3 to 4 years they made themselves successful. We are also allowing our students get the free laptop from the university. Until today, 37,000 laptop we already giving our students as free. And this is also one of our opportunity, or we should say or facility for our student to make them entrepreneurial minded. Some of the international event we organize inside our university to gear up our student entrepreneurial mindset, like Getting the Ring, Hall Prize, Startup Greens, Startup CHAM, Global Entrepreneurship Week, TEDx, Startup Hurdle. So I myself is also initiated some few books for encouraging the young entrepreneur. One of the books, the middle one, I initiated while I was the president of the Dhaka Chamber of Commerce, and another two I already initiated after that. We also implemented the Smart Edu system to develop our automation in international standard. I think more than 50 modules we already developed. So we can claim that we are almost 100% automated university now. We also working with Spiral World and one of the global company, and we also developed this virtual platform. And you know that this COVID-19 is also gave us a very good lesson. So we are hopeful that with this knowledge, with this experience, the virtual platform will be also one of the popular event, because people, a lot of cases may not able to move to the one place to another places due to cause of traffic, due to cause of safety and security. So we are hopeful that the virtual platform also will going to be the popular. And some of the digital step we also taking between this time, we also develop Go Edu platform. A lot of the course we offered through this Go Edu free of charge. And Blending Learning Center also we initiated. Almost 10,000 lecture or the course is already archived in this Blending Learning Center. And you know, due to this COVID, the whole lockdown times, we already providing our activities through this BLC. So thank you very much. If anyone has any question, thank you. Thank you, moderator. Going to back to you.